Time to get Week 7 started here in Season 26 of the Simulation Football League. Good evening, everybody, from the I in Fort Lauderdale, Florida, as the Florida Storm play host to the Albuquerque Adams. I'm Mike Diggs. Joining me in the booth this evening is Joey Ramos-Lynn for the second week in a row. On stats tonight, Ron Haynes and J.W. Hart, along with our commissioner and producer Cameron Irvine. You are watching the Simulation Football League on the Virtual Football Network. Joey, how you doing tonight?
Great. I'm doing great, and this is a game in which something has to give. I mean, Florida is the third best team all time at home. They win 80% of their games. Meanwhile, Albuquerque only has won 6 away games in their franchise history. But Albuquerque comes in after actually winning a couple of games. So the Adams have a good streak going on. Florida also has a decent streak going on. Which team will prevail? Albuquerque won the game last meetup a couple seasons ago, 17-10. I think we're going to have a great South Division matchup right here.
I agree. And, you know, one of the things I noticed when I was getting ready for this game tonight is, to your point, Albuquerque and Florida both on some positive momentum here after starting off slow. Albuquerque losing their first 3 games, Florida losing their first 2, but since that time, Albuquerque has won 2 in a row and Florida has won 3 in a row. But tonight, that streak ends for one of these teams and they'll get back in the losing column. For the other, they could go on a potential 3 or 4 game winning streak, respectively, between these teams. So let's get started. We've got Albuquerque down on the field to get things going on offense tonight. Cyrus Jive is the quarterback for the Adams. Having a good season so far, top 5 in completions. Throws this one over the middle. That one is incomplete. He's throwing about 58% completion percentage so far this season, Joey. It's top 10. He's also, like I said, top 10 in completions, actually top 3 in completions, top 5 in the fewest interceptions thrown. Doing pretty good, middle of the road in yardage, but we'll have to see how this game progresses as it plays out tonight. Jive to throw on second down, finds his target up top, and a big completion. Already getting it into the hands of K. Marion, and that completion actually already makes us hit our first milestone of the evening, Joey. With that completion, he passes the 20,000-yard mark on his career.
It's a great mark. Obviously on his way for a potential Hall of Fame career. The everlasting duo of Evan Carroll and Ryan Davidson getting targeted on the first 2 plays.
Run up the middle, good for a gain of 2 yards. And listen, Joey, I'd be remiss if I didn't say Cyrus Jive is 28th in the league all time now at over 20,000 yards on his career. Who's at number 27, you ask? Mexico City Aztecs quarterback Jordan Sipe. All right, Jive to throw again, another deep pass over the middle, and he completes that one for another first down, already inside the 30-yard line of Florida's territory.
Another great throw right there, going into tight coverage. Right up the seam goes the wide receiver. It's actually a post route. Again, the safety was crashing in to make the hit, but a good catch by Albuquerque, and they are almost in, actually, they're already in scoring range.
They are indeed. Marion with her second catch of the ball game. Up to 47 yards now. Short drop by Jive, looking, throws middle, wide open once again, another receiver over the middle. This time Siege Falco with his first catch. Jive is the quarterback. You've got Josh Slapp and Jason Williams at halfback. And the wide receivers are Siege Falco, Clarence Lee, and K. Marion. Jack Wall is the tight end. On the offensive line, Queen Porter, Jerrion Jones, and Leah Williams. First down and 10 from the 12. Jive looks, fires, end zone, and it is intercepted in the end zone, putting this drive to a close. Daniel Wright gets the pick.
And this is a Florida team that traditionally has ball hawks on the secondary. Again, Carroll and Davidson being the 2 main guys, but they always have really good safety play, and you're going to get them once, but maybe not twice in the same drive.
Right with his third interception on the season. That brings Isaac Covert onto the field now. See what he can get going for Florida. Number 1 in completion percentage in the league and the number 1 quarterback rating. Joey's completing over 70% of his passes and starts off with a completion right there, a dime over the middle to Israel Adams.
Yeah, and this is Isaac Covert's second season with the Storm, you know, filling some huge shoes. Obviously, Florida, you know, had Ron Cochran for many years, and you know, people were skeptical about Isaac Covert coming in too young to be the quarterback of the Storm, but he's doing a great job.
Very big shoes to fill. Under pressure, throws that one. Had to throw it a little too quickly. Falls incomplete. Pass broken up by the Moose Papanow. Isaac Covert is the quarterback. You've got G.P. Wells and Bullet Boletsky at halfback. The wide receivers, Israel Adams, Joey Hightower, Mike Twinscrew, and Shea Carroll. The tight end, the one, the only Art Vandelay. On the offensive line, a pair of guards, Joseph Wade and Greg McDonaldson. Second down and 10 now. Ball handed off to Boletsky. He'll run for a pickup of 4 yards, setting them up with a third down and 6.
And the former Atlanta Swarm players have been active. Siege Falco, who spent obviously the majority of his career in Atlanta. Moose Papineau, Zach Lay is another one of those players.
I formation on third down. Covert to throw. Short pass, and picking up the first down yardage is G.P. Wells. Good check down there.
Yeah, really good decision right there. Just staying patient. Knows he has wide open space to get the first down, and Florida really moving the ball well here to start the game.
Covert and friends up to the 46-yard line now. He rolls out to the right, throws over the middle, and completes that one to Mike Twinscrew, who gets his first target, first catch of the ball game. And just like that, Florida is in Albuquerque territory.
Good move of the pocket. Really good job by the offensive line. Blocking the incoming rush from the other side. You see a pancake on the outside. That's an amazing job by the tackle. I believe that was Ian Allen on the outside. Check that. Damian McIntosh was the guy.
First down and 10 from the 35, just on the outside of field goal range. Covert with another check down pass, getting it into field goal range with that 6-yard pickup. That one going to Boletsky.
Yeah, and again, good patience. And, you know, you don't have to, you know, just score in one play, right? You can take the ball down the field slowly but surely, and they are now in scoring position.
Handed off this time back to Boletsky they go. Not going to get anything on that one. Third down and 4 as they are inside field goal range, looking for the first points of the game.
Third down and 4. Passing situation looks like man coverage here for Albuquerque.
2 receivers split out wide, one to the top, one to the bottom. They'll throw a screen pass. Boletsky unable to pick it up. He got half of what he needed, but a great defensive play by Bryant James brings up a 4th and 2.
And there's a reason why Bryant James was drafted first overall a few years ago. 3-time All-Star. He's a great tackler.
45-yard field goal try from the right hash. Charles Franz sends it on its way, and it is good. Going right inside the right upright. Still perfect on the season now. Joey, 11 of 11.
And I know for Florida, a little bit too close for comfort, but really good drive here for the Storm. Yeah, just barely. Really good drive here by the Storm, you know, getting the ball at the 20-yard line after the interception, and coming away with points is obviously always great, especially early on in the game.
3-0 Florida with the lead. That 45-yard field goal, a new long on the season for Charles Franz. His previous long was 40. First points of the game. So Albuquerque back out on the field on offense now. turning it over in the end zone. It's got to be the most painful place to throw a pick, right when you think you're about to score some points. Drive, throws that one up to about the 40-yard line. That one's broken up, though. Second down and 10. Let's look at this defense for Florida. On the defensive line, Deontay Stoneville, Alessandro Tomiello, and Pete Mitchell. The linebackers, Ryan Tobin, Sabo Kanan, Garrett Evans, and Aaron Gooden. Ball is handed off now as Josh Slapp gets the carry and picks up 4. In the secondary, you've got Ryan Davidson, Evan Carroll, Roy Towers, Daniel Wright, and Andrew Francis. And you look at some of the times the seasons that these players have been in the league, Joey, most of them are double digits. It's a very consistent defense. That first down picked up to the 45.
Yeah, that's a great throw across his body as K. Marion comes down with the catch. That's one of the toughest throws to make as a quarterback, rolling to the right and throwing to the left by the numbers. Davidson right there on the coverage, but there's no defense for a perfect pass.
First down and 10. Up to about the 44. In case you missed it, Bryant James is here in the chat. Jive to throw, pressure on its way, throws into double, maybe triple coverage and completes that one as well. Falco with the catch, and Jive has been throwing a lot of great passes, and his receivers are making great catches. That last drive really should have ended in some points, save for that pick.
Yeah, absolutely. And Siege Falco has done this for years. It's kind of like the dirty work. He did the dirty work for Atlanta, as Blue Chisholm was mostly of the deep threat receiver. Siege Falco was more of the short or intermediate route receiver.
3 receivers set here on first down, but they will hand this one off. Getting hit in the backfield once again is Slapp. Only picks up a couple, second down.
A lot of offense so far in this game. I mean, again, we did have that interception, but a lot of offense. Florida, 3rd in the league in passing yards a game to 64.
Quick pass over the middle is incomplete as Albuquerque able to get over 100 yards on the game so far offensively, most of them through the air, all but 9, in fact.
Yeah, and that's going to be an aerial attack for both teams. Albuquerque 20th in the SFL in rushing yards a game. Florida's 13th.
Jive back to pass, has time, throws middle, finds his target, finding that hole in the zone. K. Marion gets another catch, gets another first down.
And Marion has been one of the most productive receivers in the SFL for years, really. Especially over the last couple of seasons, she's been just the go-to receiver for Chris Jive. 6-time All-Star in 11 seasons. I mean, that's an incredible ratio.
Impressive. Yeah. First down and 10 from the 13. This is about where the wheels fell off the proverbial wagon. Throwing end zone. That one's incomplete. No flag there. Saw a little bit of contact. Thought maybe we might see some laundry on the field, but we don't. K. Marion, the intended target, second down.
Yeah, they letting them play both ways. We also saw another play in which, it was very tight coverage. Could have been something called, but, just the referees keeping the yellow hanky on their pockets.
Jive to throw again. Looks, fires down to the bottom. That one's also incomplete. Really kind of spam targeting Marion at this point. It's got to try to spread that around a little bit more.
3rd down and 10 coming up. This is where Florida Storm's defense generally is very good. Historically, one of the best ever, really.
3 receiver set. Jive under center. Jive rolls out top. Throws top. That one is also incomplete. So this defense does its job. 3 straight passes to Marion, all broken up by the defense.
Yeah, double coverage right there. I mean, you'll see the game plan against K. Marion, even in the catches that she has gotten. I mean, she's been blanketed by Ryan Davidson in a safety sometimes, and that was the case. Albuquerque will try to kick a field goal to tie this game up.
30-yard attempt from the left hash. Kick is on its way, curving back inside, and it is good. Sammy Steele with his 8th make on the season, and that one gets this thing knotted back up at 3 apiece. So, like you said, it's been a good game offensively so far, but both teams stalling out as they get closer to the end zone, having to settle for field goals, and of course, Albuquerque committing a turnover earlier on. So Florida getting their second crack at it now. Let's see what they're able to do on their second possession. Their first possession, an 8-play, 38-yard drive, which seems like it went farther than that. It's seeing that they only went 38 yards. I don't know. It felt like Florida was really moving the ball, but a lot of their passes were like short checkdowns and just enough to try to get the first.
Yeah, they've been methodical. Again, Culver making good decisions with the ball. And it's been a solid game. Solid game by the offensive line for both teams, really. We haven't really seen any of the two quarterbacks get pressured so far.
Covert back at it now. Short drop, quick pass, one-handed catch. Getting that one into first down territory. Shake Carroll getting his first catch of the game. Let's talk about the defense for Albuquerque on the defensive line. Here's some more people that have been around for a while, except for rookie Dave Wolf. You've got 12-season vet Chris Porter, 12-season vet Leo Jefferson, and 16-season vet Joshua Williams. Get to the linebackers in the secondary. After this first down, up at the 46, Covert rolls up top, throws up top. That one is broken up, and that was Moose Papineau again. The linebackers, Seth Berlin, Saeed Gore, and Mark Gronick. The secondary, Amar Bryant Jr., Daniel Valentine, Zach Lay, TJ Frosty, Moose Papineau, who's made a few good plays already tonight, and of course Bryant James, who is in the chat. Covert up top again, throws up top again, this time over the middle, actually complete to Twin Screw, getting another first down.
Twin Screw has been in the SFL also for a while, 12 seasons, formerly of Louisiana.
Go Revs.
A couple of teams, so a seasoned vet, and this is the kind of players that Florida really likes. Again, Shake Carroll spent a long time in Baltimore coming in. Just those savvy veterans.
First down and 10 from the 35. Ball is handed off. GP Wells picks up a few. Injury on the play though. Who's down? The Moose. Moose Papineau gets hurt. He's made some big plays so far, and maybe he's been hitting people a little too hard, Joey.
Yeah, he's been all over the place. Really tough to have him lost here in the first quarter. Hopefully he's able to come back. The backup is TJ Frosty, the 8th season veteran, so another veteran presence for the secondary, but sensible loss nonetheless.
It's like my wife does anytime we're up in the Adirondacks. We will be on moose watch to see if we can spot a wild moose back out on the field. And Joey, I gotta say,
we didn't see any.
No, we saw no moose. No, we tried. We looked. You were there. We were looking all over. There was zero moose. I will say, well, let's get through this. It's 3rd down and 7. That's more important. From the 32, bunch to the top. Covert rolls to the bottom, throws to the middle, and there's a one-handed catch for a first down. Mike Twin Screw, and you know what? Right on cue. There's Twin Screw. That's what I was going to say. Gerald is still feeling a little under the weather, so he is unable to do the show, unable to do tonight's game. You're filling in. I thought, though, because Gerald wasn't here, I would get a 1-week break from having to hear somebody bring up the Louisiana Revolution. But you did.
Yeah, I did. I sure did. I'm filling in nicely.
Yeah, you're filling in every way that he could possibly do. Hope Gerald feels better soon. Looking forward to getting him back in the booth. 1 quarter down, 3 to go here from Fort Lauderdale, Florida. 3 points apiece for each of these teams. We've just seen a couple of field goals, and that's it. So get the second quarter started and see what else we can find there. But first, aerial coverage of today's game is provided by Dags Drone Works. Aerial photography and videography services for real estate, events, marketing, and more. Learn more at dagsdroneworks.com. And if everything here in Fort Lauderdale looks wet, it's because it always is. Every day it rains for like an hour without fail, without exception.
Was that like the Barack Obama meme where he puts himself like a medal, like a you know?
It's like tooting his own horn there.
Yeah.
Yeah, maybe. Listen, someone's got to do my own ad read. Touchdown for the Storm. Mike Twinscrew, the former Louisiana Revs receiver, gets the catch, gets the first touchdown of the ball game for the Storm.
Yeah, and it's another rollout pass. Those have worked well for both teams, really. Twinscrew has been very productive in attacking that Moose Papineau vacant spot. Is the Florida Storm, and they score the first touchdown of the night.
Extra point try coming up, and yeah, Rylan Mathis, number 27. You saw him there in on the coverage of Twinscrew. He is the backup free safety that is currently in for Moose Papineau. You did mention TJ Frosty. He's also out there somewhere, but in that particular case, they saw the matchup of Twinscrew versus Mathis, and they're going to take that one 10 times out of 10. So solid drive there for Florida. Their first drive was 8 plays, 38 yards. Their second drive, 8 plays, 69 yards, ending in a touchdown. They take the 7-point lead. So we've got the Albuquerque Adams back out on the field. Their first drive ended with an interception in the end zone. Their next drive, Joey, they certainly can keep a sustained drive going. 11 plays, 67 yards, and unfortunately for them, it had to result in only a field goal. So they at least were able to hang on to the ball, but now they got to get to that next level, find their way to the end zone.
Yeah, and obviously they've shown the explosiveness to do so, especially, K. Marion.
Ball is handed off on the draw. Nice broken tackle, but only for a gain of 2 as Andrew Francis finds his way to the ball carrier. 2nd down and 8.
And you have to keep a balance, right? I mean, Albuquerque is 20th in the SFL, so that's second to last in rushing, but you still have to keep a defense honest.
Second down and 8. Swing route now. Trying to get Jason Williams involved. But that one will be good for only a gain of 1. We've seen Williams take a handoff earlier where he picked up only 2 yards. So not a lot of action out of Williams yet in this one. 3 receivers set here on 3rd down. Jive throws into coverage. Tried to find Siege Falco, but that one is broken up. We've got an update from VFN headquarters. What's going on in Bossier City?
A lot of nonsense, Mike. You see that our transmission froze on this game update, and then there was a fumble right after that. That was the first offensive play of the game after the opening kickoff also resulted in a fumble. Miami just threw another interception, and Bossier City's in the end zone. Scoreless. Back to you.
All right, chaos down in Louisiana.
Yeah, of course you have to be in Louisiana.
Joey, we got another injury here now. This time Shea Carroll going down. So 1 injury for Albuquerque and now 1 for Florida.
Another sensible injury here for the Storm. I mean, Shea Carroll, one of the, again, most experienced players here on the field tonight. Maybe one of the very best players ever to never be an All-Star. 15 seasons in the SFL, 6'1", 210, and does work on special teams, and unfortunately gets hurt on that play.
Over 7,000 yards receiving to his name through his 15-season career. Covert, quick pass over the middle, gets that one out to Art Vandelay, another wily old vet. That's the thing about this team. You mentioned their quarterback, Isaac Covert, been on this team a couple seasons now. Everybody else has been here seemingly forever, at least in the league forever. Most of the players on this team have been in the SFL for double-digit seasons. First down and 10 from the 47. As Adams goes in motion from the top down to the bottom. We'll hand this one off to Beletsky. Beletsky picks up a gain of 1, tackled on the play by Saeed Gore.
Second down and 9 here. I mean, they have to Again, keep the balance. Covert has been good, especially going over the middle. That's where he's found his most success.
Pitch down to the bottom. Wells able to pick up about 3 yards. They're down in 6 now, as Florida looking to extend their lead further on this drive.
Both 3 receivers. Again, that linebacker zone.
Covert has time, rolls out of the pocket, throws deep across the middle and finds his target. Just standing there. Vandelay, you give him that much time, he's going to find his weapons.
Yeah, and again, no pressure. Again, both teams really have struggled with putting pressure on the quarterback. Just all day to throw. Covert has been sacked only 8 times this season. Same with Jive. That's 8th in the SFL, so 8 least, so top half of offensive line play. And he's had all day to throw.
First down and 10 from the 14. Covert, short pass over the middle, complete. Twin screw, getting a little bit of yak on that one. Picks up 8, 2nd and 2.
I think this is Biletsky territory for sure.
Lined up in the backfield behind Covert. Covert to Biletsky. Biletsky through the middle, picks up the first down, 1st and goal from the 2.
This is where you can spell him, probably put GP Wells on the field.
Nope, still Biletsky out there.
Yep. He's the bigger back, so he's more built for, red zone.
6 foot, 210. Gets the handoff, finds his way into the end zone, gets the touchdown, and Florida extends their lead even further. Quick shot of the blimp, Joey. We got to see it. It's the obligatory shot. Larry Love up there flying.
Yeah, I mean, this is just a star-studded team, right? Bullet Biletsky, 3-time All-Star, MVP in season 18. He was also a championship game MVP back in season 21. He is one of the best backs the SFL has seen, and gets his touchdown. Florida now up 2 scores.
Florida 17, Albuquerque 3, as the Storm are piling on the points. I'm Mike Dykes. He's Joey Ramos-Lynn. Got Mexico City Aztecs tight end Ron Haynes in the stats truck tonight. Mexico City Aztecs 3rd string quarterback Larry Love up in the blimp, and some guy named J.W. Hart just kind of hanging out with Ron, I guess, also doing stats. Not part of the Mexico City Aztecs, but not everybody's perfect, Joey, and we just have to accept that.
Yeah, yet.
So you're saying there's a chance. All right, 1st down and 10 for Albuquerque, trailing by 14 now. Got to get back into this one and do it quickly. So they're going to try it with a Josh Schlapp run, pitch to him, picks up 6, and that's a great play to get them going on 1st down.
Yeah, and speaking about star-studded, I mean, this backfield, Jason Williams, kind of was enough, and then they get Josh Schlapp out of Houston, the 3-time All-Star, Offensive Player of the Year a couple seasons ago.
Going right back to the pitch game, and that one goes down to the bottom to Jason Williams, but Aaron Gooden absolutely not fooled as he's able to get the tackle right back at the line of scrimmage. We'll spot him with a 1-yard loss on the play, 3rd and 5.
A lot of cushion top side of the field there.
From the 25-yard line, Jive back to pass, looks, throws, middle, and that one is incomplete. I thought he had it, Joey, but Jack Wall tried to get the one-handed catch and absolutely rocked by Francis.
And not common you see tight end lined up as a Z receiver and run a post route. He ran it well, but a great job by the safety making the hit, and Florida gets yet another stop.
Punt by Ken Miller. Back to the 38-yard line. Fair catch called for back at that point. And Shea Carroll still out of the game right now. Joey, for those just tuning in, he was injured on a special teams play a couple series ago. Lee Mays with the fair catch. So first down and 10 for the Storm. Let's start things off with a Bullet Boletsky run. Picks up 3, 2nd and 7.
And this is where, Florida can just kind of manage the game from here, give the ball to the running back, take some clock down, and tire this defense up that it's already banged up without their starting free safety.
Going back down to the ground and firing out of a rocket that time. A little bit of speed. GP Wells picks up the first down for the Storm.
Really good opening right there by the offensive line. I mean, you see just bodies of Adams laying on the ground. This is a different beast. Like, Florida is just a different beast at home historically.
Really
on the road, they're very good, but here in the eye, I mean, it's just such a tough place to play.
Covert rolls down to the bottom, checks it down. Wow, the old check down to Art Vandelay. Joey, he made it all the way down to the 26, but I don't know about that. Everybody should pump the brakes for a second.
Yeah, let's take a look at the replay. Hopefully, we get a good view of it.
This will show you. Yeah, I mean,
clearly out of bounds.
I mean, his whole body was out of bounds. Like, that's not even close. There's the flag. So, yeah, you mentioned Florida at home as we look at this replay here.
Yeah, Coach Porter, upset, and he has to be. I mean, his whole body was out of bounds.
Yeah.
Come on, ref.
Joey's like, as a fellow head coach, I can attest to the fact that I shouldn't have to throw this flag. It happened right in front of him too. He's right there. He just watched him go out of bounds. He's like, seriously? Nobody else saw that? So let's see what the ruling on the field or what the call is here. Yeah, and to the surprise of no one, they have ruled that the player stepped out of bounds. So, you'll see Coach celebrating here that he got a successful challenge. But, one thing to always keep in mind in this league is coaches get 2 challenges no matter what. So always something that I want to point out when there's a challenge here in the first half, because you use them up too quick, and when they're gone, they're gone. So 2nd down and 12, as instead of being a big first down pickup, it is a play for a loss. Covert says, wow, he was going to try to make up for it right there by getting it back to Vandelay, but the pass is broken up. 3rd and 12, and just looking at the Florida Storm's record, Joey, they've been playing a lot of games on the road as of late, between the last half of last season and the start to this one. But 4 out of their last 5 games at home, they have won. So to your point, a tough place to play here in Fort Lauderdale. Twin screw moves down to the bottom, pressure on its way, and that one is intercepted. And a good turn of events for Albuquerque. They needed that one as Zach Lay gets the pick.
And Zach Lay, one of those Atlanta Swarm players. Again, these Atlanta Swarm players have had a good first half. As Zach Lay, just in man coverage, gets ahead of the receiver, picks up the ball, and gets some good yardage. A much needed stop here by the Albuquerque defense, and now they have a chance to put points before the end of the half.
Zach Lay has been in the league 11 seasons, and he averages 1 pick per season. That was his 11th interception on his career, which is kind of wild to think about. Oh, that pass behind the line of scrimmage, and it will be a tackle behind the line of scrimmage. 2nd down and 11.
And this Florida Storm defense really making good work underneath. I think they've struggled a little bit more when Albuquerque throws the ball down the field, but underneath they've been excellent.
Jive pressure was on its way, gets it out to Jack Wall. That time Wall lined up in the traditional tight end spot and just finds a nice hole in the zone for the completion.
Good job by the offensive line, and then one-on-one coverage right there by number 45 Garrett Evans, coming from Houston. not able to make a play on the ball.
17-3. Florida out in front here. Jive hands this one off. And carrying it for a short pickup is Josh Slapp, who's had a quiet season so far. Joey, we saw him, of course, in Houston, absolutely tearing things up in previous seasons. Not even to 200 yards on the season yet after 5 games.
Yeah, that's shocking.
2nd down and 7 now. Short drop, quick pass. That one was dangerous as Jive nearly threw it right to a waiting Storm defender. 3rd down and 7.
I mean, they're so fast, Andrew Francis could not even react to it. As that could have been, to your point, disaster there for Albuquerque.
3 receiver set on 3rd and 7, right on the very far edge of field goal range if they need to end up calling on Sammy Steele here. Jive rolls up to the top, throws into the middle, and crisis averted as he connects with Kay Marion. She gets another catch and brings us to the 2-minute warning.
Kay Marion very close to another milestone. Not going to be this game most likely, but almost 12,000 in her career.
2-minute warning here in Fort Lauderdale. The Storm out in front, 17-3. Watching the Simulation Football League on the Virtual Football Network. Albuquerque on a drive, trying to cut into this lead, make it a 1-score game. High formation, they're going to pitch that one up top to Slapp. Breaks 1 tackle, cannot break the second. Picks up a gain of 4. And Albuquerque, of course, with this field position, Joey, will not be in any hurry here.
Yeah, no, you want to be the last team to score here in the first half, so maybe another run coming here for the Adams.
Oh, Jive going to throw to the bottom. That one was dangerous. I see what he was trying to do, getting it out to Marion, but now throwing it to a guy like Ryan Davidson, who's got about 1.5 billion picks on his career. Dangerous pass.
Yeah, very much so. Evan Carroll, one of the very best ever. 114 interceptions, second most in NFL, SFL history. 114.
Jive rolls top, throws bottom. Interesting play design. Tried to get that one back into the hands of Slapp, and he did, but for a loss. And they're going to have to settle for a field goal here as Sammy Steele back out onto the field for his second trip. 32 yards from the left hash. Trying to let some more time tick off the clock. As the play clock ticks down to 2. Ball is snapped. Kick is on its way, and the kick is good. And Albuquerque able to put 3 more points on the board, make this an 11-point ball game.
Yeah, but you have to be a bit disappointed, if you're a Albuquerque fan.
Yeah.
Because, it's 2 drives that could have ended in touchdowns. Then you also have that interception in the end zone. So, they've definitely left points on the board, and is the reason why Florida is leading by 11.
And I mean, it's frustrating too, because, you had a 2-score ball game, and, you have another nice drive going. You've had a few nice drives in this one, to your point. You have one drive that ends in a pick, another nice drive that ends in a field goal, then this one, another nice drive, ends in a field goal. So you had a 2-score game, and after all that, you still have a 2-score game. So not a lot of ground gained. Ball is handed off to Beletsky, who's running like a man possessed. Picks up 9.
Beletsky just running right up the middle. And again, this offensive line is just doing work. I mean, in the second half, I would not be surprised if it's a lot of Beletsky and GP Wells.
Second down and 1. Florida in no hurry either. So they toss this one down to Wells. And with that, I think they'll be content to take their 11-point lead into the locker room because to add insult to injury, Florida will receive the ball to start the second half. So already up 11 points, and they'll get the next shot at it on offense as well. So your score at halftime, Florida 17, Albuquerque 6. We'll head to the halftime break and take a look at the snapshots and the stats from the first half. Joey, your thoughts so far on the first half of action?
Again, missed opportunities for Albuquerque. They really could have at least 14 points here by half. But Florida's defense, kudos to them. They've been awesome in the red zone. And the offensive lines, again, going back to the offensive lines, they've done a really good job run blocking and pass blocking for both teams. No pressures, much less sacks so far in this game. And again, despite being an 11-point game, it's anybody's ball game right now as Albuquerque has been able to move the ball very well.
See what happens here in the second half as we get the second half started. But first, your halftime player of the day is Mike Twinscrew. 5 catches, 76 yards, and a touchdown. It's been the top performer on the Florida side. K. Marion with over 100 yards receiving on the Albuquerque side. And going to need more of that from K. Marion if they're going to be able to come back in this one. But first, coming out of the break, you're going to see Florida getting the ball back. Isaac Covert, 13-17, 169 yards, a touchdown, and a pick in the first half. Every Monday Night Spectacular, you can win money for your player or team bank by playing VFN Bingo alongside the featured game of the week. Claim your virtual card and mark off numbers coinciding with the yardage of scores and the scores themselves. This week so far, the pot is up to $348,000. So get those likes up and see VFN Bingo section of the SFL server for more information. Letsky tackled behind the line, and Joey, we've had an Aztec win bingo. Dan Tritz winning some bingo bucks a couple weeks ago, and the pot, like, this is the first game of the week. Like, the likes from week 7 haven't even been tabulated yet, but because there was no claimed winner last week, it's already at $348,000. This weekend's, or this Monday night's bingo is going to be huge.
Yeah, a lot of pesos.
Muchos pesos, senor. That pass incomplete. Didn't look like the receiver was quite ready for that one.
Yeah, it was a good throw, but I don't know. And, to your point, maybe not quite ready for it, or just kind of maybe lost it under the lights. I'm not sure.
Covert back to pass. He's going to take off and run with it, and that's not going to work as Amar Bryant Jr. wraps him up, brings them down, and the defense, Joey, does its job to help Albuquerque get back into this.
Seasons in the league, Amar Bryant Jr., one-time All-Star. That was his first career sack.
That's crazy.
First sack of the game goes to boundary corner. That's not something you see very often.
It's not, and now I think he has the same amount of career sacks as Dan Tritz.
I knew it.
I couldn't help it. I'm sorry. I'll say, listen, you got a whole Aztecs crew here. What do you want from me? You got me, you've got Joey Ramos-Lynn, you've got Ron Haynes in the stats truck, some JW Hart guy who is an infiltrator. Not sure what's going on with him, but he's here. I can't help it. I'll try to behave. I promise. I promise nothing. First down from the 45-yard line. Jive, pirouettes, throws, bobbled, and almost picked off.
I was going to say.
On the play.
Yeah, man, the receiver just got absolutely killed before the ball even got there.
See if we get another look at that one. Yeah, we get a look at it with a circle. Oh, yeah. He just runs into him, picks him up, carries him. Like, come on, Siege.
Drags him to the ground, the whole 9 yards.
So automatically moving the ball into Florida territory. First down and 10 from Florida's 45. Jive back to throw. Rips that one right back over the middle to Falco and gets the completion.
Catch by Siege Falco again. He's been a guy who's done a lot of the dirty work throughout his career, going over the middle, taking a big hit right there from the safety, Francis. And again, Mike, another really good Albuquerque drive. This has to come away with a touchdown for the Adams.
Yeah, with a touchdown. I was going to say, not even with points. They need touchdowns here. Jive, short pass to Marion, picks up a gain of 3. I'm totally fine with passes like that. You know, we like to do those sorts of passes in Mexico City as well. I promise I'll stop talking about them at some point, but it's just very similar. You know, the short dump down route to your receiver, see what they're able to do with it.
Yeah, especially with the ability of K. Marion that we know is a touchdown waiting to happen.
Run up the middle by Josh Slapp. He'll pick up 4, 3rd down and a manageable 3, but a big 3rd down here.
Yeah, 3rd down and 3. I think they will go in the double running back formation. I think this is a passing down for Albuquerque.
Jason Williams lined up in the eye. Jack Wall moves down to the bottom. 4 on the line for Florida. Jive will throw. Pressure on its way. Throws it. Nearly intercepted. It's batted down. And another field goal try is coming up for the Adams.
Yeah, I mean, the defense inside the green zone has been really incredible for Florida. Another stop inside the 25.
Jive throwing about 500 today, 52% completion percentage. Does not have any touchdowns, of course, and 1 interception. That field goal is good and cuts it down to technically, Joey, a 1-score game, but it's a 1-score game with a 2-point conversion, and that's where the frustration continues to be for Albuquerque. All of these drives that have just resulted in 3 points really just doesn't feel like they're getting any closer to Florida, who's about to get the ball back.
Yeah, absolutely, especially on the road. You know, you're, again, not going to beat the Storm with a bunch of field goals.
So Florida back out on the field now, their second drive here of the second half. First drive was a quick 3 and out. We'll see if the Albuquerque defense is able to repeat that process as Moose Watch continues. Anxious to see if Moose Papanow gets back out onto the field at some point. Split backs in the backfield. And Boletsky able to pick up 6, second down.
And again, this is where Florida will establish, you know, this run game. Now they spell GP Wells in.
Wells takes the handoff, spins right into the waiting arms of Saeed Gore. Tackled for only a gain of 1, 3rd down, and a big opportunity now for Albuquerque.
Saeed Gore right there at the cusp of a milestone, 500 solo tackles. Also has 9.5 sacks in his career.
Pitch up to the top. Boletsky able to run right through the defender and pick up the first down, knocking the would-be tackler down to the turf.
The Florida drive will continue that way. They're still doing those like man-to-man on the outside, and Albuquerque is.
Run down to the bottom, pitching it back up into the middle is GP Wells, and on that first down carry, not to keep harping on it, but you know, it just shows the impact that Moose Papanow being out has. That was Rylan Mathis who allowed the touchdown reception to Mike Twinscrew earlier. Mathis also trying to tackle Boletsky there and just absolutely getting steamrolled. That pass was intended for Twinscrew again, incomplete in a 3rd down and 6 coming up.
Yeah, big third down here for the Albuquerque defense. Watch out for the rollout pass. And really put hands and eyes on Mike Twinscrew, who's been lethal tonight.
They're down in 6 from the 36. Covert to throw. Finds nobody. That one's intercepted again. Bryant James all the way to the end zone. Touchdown, Adams. If your offense can't get you there, rely on your defense. And they find the end zone for 6.
Again, there's a reason why he was the first pick in the, I believe, season 18 draft. Has a good block on the outside, by the way. Normally, you don't see a lot of defensive players get great pancake blocks. But that's exactly what they needed to go all the way to the end zone. And I will kick the extra point here, Mike. I think it's too early to go for 2, but Cyrus Jive
go for 2.
Gonna be out there. Yep.
That was Bryant James's 25th interception on his career. First on the season, first pick 6 on the season, third pick 6 all time. And it couldn't have come at a better time for the Adams. Here they are going for the tie. Jive throws it down to the bottom, and that one is complete, but not for the successful conversion as Josh Schlapp was tackled short. So I'm with you, Joey. Midway through the third, I would kick the extra point and just be trailing by 1. Now you put yourself down by 2. It just makes it that much more difficult down the road.
Yeah, and it gets like in the back of your head, right?
Oh no. Oh, running down to the bottom. And that touchdown is for nothing as this one goes all the way to the house on the kickoff. And Florida back out in front by a touchdown lead.
Wow. I mean, as soon as I was going to say, it gets back in the back of your head that you're still trailing by 2 and you're chasing that 1 point. The special teams just get gashed. I mean, nobody put, let alone hands. I mean, nobody got even close to Towers on that play or that kick return, and the Florida Storm really separating again. That's his 3rd touchdown of his career for Roy Towers.
And now the extra point try is good. And now Joey 24-15. And here's where that early 2-point conversion try hurts. It's back to a 2-score game.
Yep, exactly right.
I mean, it's just so deflating for the Adams. You get a pick 6, whether you go for the 2 or not, you're right back in it. 1-point game, 2-point game, you're right back in it. And on the ensuing kickoff, Roy Towers all the way to the house. You don't often see corners returning kickoffs anymore, especially for touchdowns, Joey. It's a rare thing in today's SFL, and he just gave Florida that boost right back.
Yep.
Jive trying to take off and run with it, and that one goes nowhere. Tackled in the backfield, sack on the play. Sabo Cannon gets the credit.
Yeah, really, again, first time the Storm are able to put pressure on the QB and get the sack. And again, to your point, it's a 9-point game. Albuquerque unable to put touchdowns on the board offensively so far.
Jive throws. That one's intercepted as well. It goes from bad to worse. Daniel Wright gets the interception. His 2nd on the day. And that's going to put Florida right back in the territory of being able to just keep their foot on the gas and just pile on the points here.
Yeah, I mean, it's just, again, going to your point, going from bad to worse. It's special teams is an underrated part of football, and when you can get a huge play on special teams like Florida did, I mean, it just boosts the rest of the team.
Pitch up to the top to Beletsky. That one will go nowhere. And this defense for Albuquerque is going to need to step back up like they did on the previous possession where they got the pick 6. The offense just isn't getting it going tonight, Joey. They're going to need the defense to get them some extra possessions or even more points.
For Daniel Wright, that was his 4th interception of the season, tying Albuquerque's Daniel Valentine for 2nd most in the SFL.
Covert throws, finds Vandelay all the way down to the 5-yard line. 1st and goal for the Storm.
It's just a great throw by Covert, who's been awesome in tonight's game. Despite that interception, that pick 6, he's got another one. I think he's been great, especially throwing the ball down the field. Those passes right by the hash marks have been money for Florida.
Covert in the gun. Boletsky lined up to his left. RJ Luke to his right. They'll give it to Boletsky. He'll be tackled for a loss. 2nd down and goal.
And Albuquerque needs to limit this to a field goal. I mean, a touchdown is still, there's still some time left in the game, but a touchdown just feels like it could be ball game for the Storm.
That would certainly make it a lot more difficult, as that one goes all the way down to the goal line. I thought he actually would have crossed the plane, but G.P. Wells down to probably, the half-foot line, you think? Let's see
yeah,
what they spotted it in the end zone. Joey, it's in the end zone right now.
Pretty much. I mean, it's definitely worth the challenge, but they're not going to.
It's on the goal line. Covert hands it to Boletsky. Now it's in the end zone for sure. Touchdown Storm, and they are just running away with this one.
Yeah, and it's just capitalizing on those opportunities. Again, going back to it, not meaning to beat a dead horse, but it's just making the defense pay after getting those turnovers, making them pay after, they make a mistake. It's what Florida has been doing, and it's going to be a 16-point ball game.
Well, Boletsky, 2 touchdowns on the day now with 15 carries. Extra point is good, makes it 31-15 here in the I. Every Tuesday on the Virtual Football Network, you can catch highlights of every game from around the league on the SFL Blitz, hosted by Commissioner Cameron Irvine. Listen for your name, get a recap of what you may have missed, and see if you're lucky enough to be named Player of the Week by the top brass. It's SFL Blitz every Tuesday on the Virtual Football Network. Kick taken back at the 2-yard line, returned up to the 28-yard line. Cyrus Jive, 13 of 26, 171 yards, no touchdowns, 2 interceptions. In a third quarter that seems to be taking about an hour and a half.
Yeah, it's been forever, and obviously that's because of the interceptions, the kick return. Those things really, the clock hasn't really been moving. That's what I'm trying to get to.
Yes. I actually should have maintenance check the clock and make sure it's actually even been running. Draw play goes nowhere, tackled for a 1-yard loss. Alessandro Tomialo with the TFL, drafted by Florida 13 seasons ago, spent his whole career here. Jive back to pass, throws middle, finds his target, finds Marion for a 1st down.
Some throw right there by Jive, getting much needed 1st down. Keep the chains moving. Of course, again, Albuquerque still very much in this one. It feels like it's now or never here for the Adams.
Falco in motion down to the bottom. Ball is handed off. Slap just not able to get anything going in this one, Joey. It's just been a really difficult, well, not even just this game, but season for Slap, as he's not even on 30 yards tonight on 9 carries. Just strange to see him struggling.
Yeah, very much so.
Jive throws to the top, gets that one out to Williams, makes the completion, but for a gain of only 2. 3rd down and 7 now.
And just to complete the idea, I mean, I remember, we saw a couple seasons ago, Albuquerque had pretty much an unstoppable run game early on, and then they add Josh Lapp, and you're like, man, this team is going to average 300 rushing yards a game, and it's just hasn't been that way.
Not yet, anyway. Drive completes that one deep down the middle to Falco. Gets down to the Florida 30-yard line, and because there was so much back and forth in this third quarter, there's still plenty of game left. You have the entire fourth quarter, so even though they're trailing now by 16 points, technically two-score game. It is 2 scores, 2 touchdowns, 2 two-point conversions, but still time to get back in this one. That draw play not really working for them tonight, Joey, as we got another update from Bossier City. Cameron Irvine at VFN HQ.
How about this one, Mike? So Iman Kopech going to hit Ivory Irvin for the touchdown here. Miami's finally on the board. Miami's run 53 plays in the first half to Bossier's 25, but they trailed 21-7. Back to you.
Wow, that's quite the disparity in number of plays, especially to be trailing by 14 still.
And if that doesn't kind of summarize the Stingrays season thus far, I mean, I don't know what will. It's a team that has shown some flashes, especially against Birmingham, which is a great team. They only lost by 3 points. They have the players.
3 quarters down, 10 minutes remains here from Fort Lauderdale. The Storm rolling this one, 31-15, but Albuquerque on the move. You're watching the Simulation Football League on the Virtual Football Network. I am Mike Daggs. He is Joey Ramos-Lynn. We've got Ron Haynes, J.W. Hart on stats, Cameron Irvine, our commissioner and producer, back at VFN HQ. Appreciate y'all joining us this evening. As Albuquerque trying to get back into this one, running it from the 8-yard line, and only gaining about a yard is Josh Slapp, who is still just shy of 30 yards on the day.
Really good drive here by Kanan. He's been really good here in the second half.
4-3 look from the Storm. Albuquerque in the gun. Blitz on its way. Jive trying to duck to the defender. Can't duck them all, though. Sacked on the play. 3rd and goal.
Yeah, this Michael Trillo will say the offensive line went out for lunch on that one. Francis and company on the sack. That right side of the offensive line just collapsed.
So it's now or never for Albuquerque. Field goals, I honestly want to say, Joey, don't even matter at this point. But 3rd and goal from the 13-yard line. See what they can do with it. Jive rolls out, looks, fires, end zone, incomplete. Pass was broken up. Honestly, wasn't even all that close to the receiver, as Ryan Davidson, the closest player to that area. And what are they going to do here? It looks like they will go for the field goal to cut into the lead a little bit.
Yeah, I mean, it's just a percentage play. The chances of getting about 15 yards and scoring a touchdown are not very high.
Field goal by Sammy Steele is good. So 31-18 now. As, still a 2-score game, but I guess not as bad of one. It was a 2-score game where you would need 2 touchdowns, 2 two-point conversions just to tie. Now 2 field goals would give you a 1-point lead. But 2 touchdowns would give you a 1-point lead. I don't know if I said 2 field goals there, but it's still a very tall task for Albuquerque to overcome here in the fourth quarter.
Yeah, especially when you have a Florida team that, can now kind of like milk the clock, and again, obviously they do have the backs to do so.
They do, and any more points of any kind, I think, scored by Florida would be the final nail in the coffin, even this early on in the fourth quarter. Boletsky rumbling down the field, picks up big yardage on first down, and will keep that clock rolling. Even though it's all the way up by 9 minutes, Joey, it's going to hurt every second that ticks away.
Yeah, and we've seen in the SFL teams be able to get the ball and get on a 7-minute drive to close out a game, and that's exactly what Florida's going to try to do on this one.
First down and 10 from the 34. Pitch down to the bottom. Good for a pickup of 3. The more likes we get, the more people see our content. Each like also contributes $1,000 to Monday's already big bingo pot. New viewers means new players. New players means growing our great community. Like this video, turn on notifications so you never miss a live stream, highlight, or podcast. And thank you for your support of the Virtual Football Network and the Simulation Football League. 3rd down and 4. It's do or die, Joey. They need to get the stop.
They do. They do. And I would not be surprised if Florida runs here on 3rd and 4. Knowing their DNA, they will likely pass, but I would not be shocked if they run the ball.
And if Albuquerque's able to get this one broken up on a pass, they also stop the clock. Covert throws. They doesn't get the stop. Was Twin Screw gets the catch and a big first down for Florida.
Yeah, and their lack of pass rush in this game is really, put on display on that one, and really what's hurting them. All day to throw, and somebody's going to be open, especially Mike Twinscrew, who's had a sensational game.
1st down and 10. Almost all the way to scoring range already, Joey. As the clock rolls inside the 7-minute mark now on this play, as Boletsky stiff arms the defender to the turf and picks up 4 yards. 2nd down and 6.
Keep feeding him.
Yeah, absolutely. You got Wells, you got Boletsky. I mean, Covert should only throw it if it's 3rd and long again. Twin Screw down to the bottom. Wells in the backfield. He'll get the handoff and pick up almost everything that's needed. So 3rd down and 2. Boletsky trotting back out onto the field, and I'd just hand it off to him, let him run it up the middle.
Yeah, absolutely. Wade and McDonald's on the 2 guards. This is why you have those, combined 7-time All-Star players.
And Boletsky, did he get there? They mark it a 1st down, but that one looked pretty close.
It did. On first glance, I think he made it just by about half a yard.
Well, they're going to go back to the line, try to get this one snapped. Doesn't look like we're going to see any challenge. Inside the 6-minute mark now. Covert throws in another one-handed catch by Twin Screw. I think that's the only catch he knows how to make.
Yeah, that's it. That's it. I mean, and it's just a quick inside move. The defender gets left in the dust, and again, Covert, he's thrown 2 interceptions this game. Other than those 2 passes, he's been on point the entire night.
Yeah, he's still up by about 70% completion percentage. Came into the day with the #1 completion percentage in the entire league at 70.7%. #1 quarterback rating at 93. His quarterback rating in this one at even 80.0 right now.
Big strong run right there by Boletsky as well. And we talked about it, right? They got the ball with over 9 minutes left, and it's down to 4:58.
16 to 23, 230 yards. Wouldn't expect to see his stat line go up too much more, Joey, as he's going to just keep feeding it to Boletsky and Wells. Pitch down to the bottom, and that one is good for another 1st down, and that's it. I mean, They got the 1st down, clock rolling, about 4.5 to go, and now they got 3 more shots at the end zone here.
And yeah, to a point, that's better for the Storm that he didn't score.
Exactly. So Covert hands this one off to Boletsky, and he just walks in untouched, unabated, uncontested for his 3rd touchdown on the day. Bullet Boletsky getting it done for the Florida Storm tonight here in front of his home crowd.
Kudos to the skill players too, the receivers, the tight ends, everybody blocking on this drive. And they just moved the ball, at will.
Extra point will make it a 20-point game with 4 minutes to go. And if the score holds, Joey, then the Albuquerque Adams will fall to 2-4 on the season. Florida will improve to 4-2, doing a fantastic job of trying to, show everybody in the league that, they are back. They're back to their winning ways and having success on the field.
Yeah, no, absolutely. I mean, the Storm, obviously a blue-collar franchise, blue-chip franchise here in the SFL. They have the most total wins in SFL history at 173. And, their win percentage is at a 68% all-time. I mean, that's second best ever. Just obviously one of the best franchises around. They've been champions 5 times, and they're back to their winning ways.
Last time Bullet Boletsky had 3 rushing touchdowns in a game was about 2.5 years ago, back when running backs still had some stamina in their legs. Not so much anymore as they swap out a lot more, but Boletsky able to capitalize tonight, getting 3 touchdowns in this one. A quick 3rd down and 8 now coming up for the Albuquerque offense. After this one, Joey, the whole league will take a bye week, so bye weeks for everybody, but once they're back in week 9, Albuquerque's going to stay on the road. They've got another tough game. They head to Washington to take on the Trident, one of those West Division opponents. Jive on 3rd and 8. Pass is broken up and incomplete. We'll see what they do on 4th down. For Florida, they will hit the road as well after the bye week, taking on the currently 1-4 Pittsburgh Riverhogs. And that's probably one of the biggest surprises to me on the season so far, as Pittsburgh. 1-4 was not what we expected to see after they had a great campaign last season. Let's see what happens on this 4th down and 8. 3 receiver set, Jive under center. Quick pass, that one is broken up, and turnover on downs. Florida will get the ball back and close this one out.
Yeah, and going back to the Riverhawks, I mean, for some people, including me, one of the favorites for the championship.
Yeah.
2 seasons ago, the Riverhawks had a tough season. They were kind of like just, getting stuff together, and then they had a great year last season where, it was a lot of people's dark horse to make the championship. They finished 8-4. And this season, unfortunately for Pittsburgh, it just really hasn't panned out. They've had a really tough schedule. I mean, Aztecs, Adams, Headhunters, Legion, Dragons. I mean, that's a brutal schedule. But definitely,
it's a winner's schedule, though, right? I mean, that's
it.
That's one of those. It's the dark side of winning that they don't tell you about till you get there. Oh, by the way, your next schedule is going to be brutal. But to your point, yeah, the strength of schedule-wise, they've had the number 1 strength of schedule in the league. Their opponents' combined record through the first 5 games, 18-8. The number 1 strength of schedule for Pittsburgh. It's been absolutely tough. Meanwhile, in Bossier City, 35-7. The Steamers out in front. The final moments of the 3rd quarter ticking away in that one. We've got more SFL action coming up tonight, Joey. We've got another pair of games starting at 9:45 p.m. Eastern, about 30 minutes time. We've got our friends down in Fort Worth. They're going to take on the Birmingham Hellhounds. Cameron Duty, Anthony Ellison on the call. And then a couple of teams who haven't had great seasons so far. One of them will get a win. You've got the 0-5 Chicago Warriors at the 1-4 Lexington Miners. Brett Solberg and Charles Doherty, who was booted off of Monday night this weekend, relegated back to a good old-fashioned Friday night game with Brett. So they're going to give Boletsky the 1st down there as we tick towards the 2-minute warning. And we've got more games coming up all weekend. We've got coming up tomorrow on the Virtual Football Network, because we do see a challenge. The defending champion Vancouver Legion visit the last unbeaten team of the season, the Houston Headhunters. That one starts at 6:30 p.m. on Saturday right here on the Virtual Football Network. Other action around the league includes Oklahoma City and Detroit, Arizona and D.C., and Los Angeles and Anchorage. It's all right here on VFN. The Mexico City Aztecs, for all of you wondering, are enjoying their first of 2 consecutive bye weeks. Nobody was wondering. Oh, yeah, I'm sure. The call on the field is overturned. He was indeed short The final challenge called by Albuquerque. And what are you doing over this 2-week break that we've got? You just eating tacos and drinking tequila, or like what's the plan?
Calling games.
Well, yeah, that too.
Calling games too. As Florida will tack on 3 more here.
32-yard field goal right down the middle. Kick is up. Kick is good. And Florida has put over 40 on the board now here in this one.
But yeah, eating tacos, I ordered barbacoa and I actually got barbacoa because, that he understood what I was saying.
Listen, so there's a little bit of a language barrier. I tried ordering barbacoa tacos. He asked if I wanted chorizo for some reason. I thought he just meant like adding some chorizo on the barbacoa tacos. So I was like, yeah, sure. Next thing I know, there's a plate full of chorizo tacos. And what am I going to do? Tell him to take them back? No, I'm going to eat them. But then I thought, you know what? When I ask for my next round of tacos, I'll make sure I say barbacoa, which I did. You know what happened, Joey? He gave me more chorizo. Why? I have no idea because I can't communicate with him. What am I supposed to do?
I don't know. Maybe he was just trolling you. I don't know.
Could be. Florida putting 41 points on the board, something that they did actually do last season as well. They were able to win in week 16, final week of the regular season. They put 41-13 up on the Carolina Skyhawks as we hit the 2-minute warning in this one. But they've played many a game over their storied franchise history, if you will. Anytime they've scored 41 points, they have won all of them, except for one. They lost a game to the Vancouver Legion all the way back in season 20, 44-42. If you ever want to go back and just watch some good games, that's one to watch.
Oh.
Yeah, wide open K. Marion. That's a rare drop right there.
Yeah, I mean that's when it's just nothing is working, especially here in the second half. It was still a game by halftime. It was 17-6, right? But we were like, hey, if Albuquerque can put the ball in the end zone, right, as they've been having good drives, we will have a ball game, and it's just been all Florida in the second half.
Drive, throws, completes to Falco, and they will burn one of their remaining timeouts. See if they're able to do anything to try to cut into this lead at all. Drive, looks, fires, finds his target over the middle. They'll burn their second timeout, 1 remaining. As the final moments of this one tick away. Joey, we've got the SFL convention coming back in July. It's heading back west, this time to Denver, Colorado, July 31st to August 2nd. The league has already oversold the rooms, but there are still some left. It's shaping up to be the largest convention ever. So reserve your room now. Simfl.net. Don't miss the event of the year. Final timeout called now for Albuquerque as they get a first down in Florida territory. Joey, I know you're going to the convention. I can't wait for it. It's going to be a lot of fun.
Yeah, it is going to. First time I get to go in the West Coast, of course. Baltimore last year was incredible, and Denver is shaping up to be even better as we're going to get even more people in there.
Jive finds his target down at the 7-yard line. Looks like that was Jack Wall lined up at the top once again. Jive fires end zone, complete to Marion for the touchdown. And they will cut into the deficit by 6.
Really good hand fighting right there by K. Marion, getting outside leverage at the very end, late hands, getting the catch. Really, really good play making up for that drop a few plays ago.
Go for the extra point here and then the onside kick. We'll see if they're able to recover that one and maybe make things interesting here. They need a lot to go their way, though. they would need multiple onside kicks, multiple touchdowns. But hey, never say never. Onside kick recovered by Florida. And that will be all she wrote as Vandelay gets that catch, and storms rolling in, says the commish. As Florida's doing great. You know, we talked about it right at the intro, Joey, about how both of these teams were starting to kind of find their groove after a little bit of a slow start. So Florida lost their first game to Los Angeles, and then lost on the road in week 2 to Houston. Since that time, they beat on the road the Fort Worth Toros in the Stockyards. You know how difficult that is to do. They beat them by 1 point. They hosted the Chicago Warriors, somewhat piled on points to them, beat them 34-14. Then they hosted Bossier City last week, beat them 20-3. Now you've got this 41-25 victory over the Albuquerque Adams. That's 4 in a row. Starting off 0-2, and now you are 4-2. A huge turnaround for the Storm.
Yeah, huge turnaround, especially considering last season and the season before. They went 6-6. Did make the playoffs last season, but got quickly bounced in the first round. But now Florida just a couple wins away from tying the record of the past 2 seasons. And yeah, I mean, to your point, it just looks like the Florida Storm are all the way back, which is scary for the rest of the league.
It is.
They have Pittsburgh coming up after the bye week. Then they do play the Aztecs, and then they get a game against Oklahoma City at Oklahoma. So.
Yeah. And now, of course, they're part of the South Division. So what better time to get yourself great again is when you can be a South Division opponent. So That's it in this one. Final score, Florida 41, Albuquerque 25. Joey, your final thoughts?
Yeah, Florida just amazing, converting when it mattered, both offensively and defensively. They got touchdowns, and they stopped Albuquerque from getting touchdowns in the green zone. Just an awesome game for the Storm. For Albuquerque, there are positive things I think to take home. That you got that pick 6, and they had some really good throws. I think they have to work on the running game. Albuquerque needs to have a good running game, I believe, if they want to take it to the next level.
That's it. That's all the time we got. For Joey Ramos-Flynn, Ron Haynes, J.W. Hart, Cameron Irvine, and Matt Wilson, who's always with me in spirit, I'm Mike Daggs. Thanks for joining us. Be kind to one another. Always choose happy. Have yourself a great night. We'll see you next time.